Okay, so today we are going to go back to our 1-point perspective, and we are going to look at drawing the inside instead of the outside in 1-point perspective. So if you are going to draw like the inside of a room, if you're standing somewhere in a room and you look straight towards the back wall, that's kind of where we're going to start this. And so basically you're going to create, as accurately as you can, a straight room going across. So I'm just going to mark my ruler. I'm going to use my ruler going straight across the page as near as I can make it. And I'm going to mark it for a 4-inch rectangle. You can make yours tall, you can make yours wide, I don't really care. This is going to be your own sort of bedroom design. If your bedroom's a very tall room, then you might want to make your rectangle tall instead of wide. So I'm looking at this back wall, and I have to think, how tall am I? If I'm standing and I'm looking in this room, how tall am I? I am not very tall. So if this is a standard bedroom, say it's 10 feet, then my height's probably going to be just slightly above the halfway mark. What if I wanted to make this a much bigger room now? What if I wanted to say this room is 15 or 20 feet high? Then my vanishing point is going to end up being fairly low. And I can put it off to one side. You know, if I'm standing over here instead of in the center and I'm looking, then maybe my vanishing point's going to be over to one side. Now, to get the rest of it, you go from your vanishing point and you go to the corner of your box. Only this time, instead of drawing here to the vanishing point, you're going to draw away. And you're going to do that for each of the 4 corners of your room. And this will help you establish your floor, your ceiling, and your side walls. I always hate this side that has to deal with the spiral. All right, so you get your floor, your ceiling, your 2 side walls. We need a place to come into this room. So let's just do a doorway where we can get in and out of this room. And as always, you start with the side of the door that's closest to you. So I'm going to start right there. And that's how tall I want my door, because remember, this is an extra tall room. And then I'm going to go to my vanishing point. Everything I draw in this room will go to the vanishing point. Everything. So that should line up all the way to my vanishing point. I didn't draw the line real dark all the way because it's a door and I'm going to cut it off. This line and this line should be parallel. They should be exactly the same. Up and down. This then becomes either a door, so you can put a handle on it if you want to, or you can make it like a entryway to another room if you decide to make another room back there. The back wall will be parallel with this one. Doesn't necessarily have to be the same height. Maybe this is a deeper room back in here, but that gives us our space. And then right here, you got to give your wall some thickness. If we're going to go with this being a wall and a doorway into another area, it's got to have some thickness. which means that my top also has to have a little thickness because the doorway is taller than I am. Therefore, I would see the underside of it. I can get rid of a little bit of my line there. And I can get rid of this line that separates my two rooms because now it's a doorway. So if this is a bedroom, things that maybe if this is my dream room, I want to put some things in here. Maybe I want a big television up on the wall. So I can go over to this side. As long as it's on the wall, any wall, I'm going to draw the line closest to me first. And then I'm going to go back to my vanishing point from the top and the bottom of that line. And then I'm going to cut it off. Now, television screens are not flat. They do have some thickness. So I have to go and create a little bit of thickness to my television screen here. I could also put a place for some gaming stuff if I want to. I can put a little cubby in here. You know, put my Xbox or whatever it is I like to spend my time doing. Maybe I have a couple things in here, I don't know. I can put, you know, some entertainment stuff there. I could hang speakers from the ceiling. Maybe I want to put a skylight in. The next thing that I am going to think about is furniture. You know, it's a bedroom that I'm doing, so maybe I'm going to make a bed. You could start a bed. You know, a bed might sit from the corner of the wall someplace like this. Maybe it's, you're going to start again like we did with the buildings from the other day. You're going to have the face first. And then you're going to go with your ruler to your vanishing point. And then somewhere along here, you're going to decide, where does your bed sit? It's kind of boring. I think I'm going to go with a bed that is hanging from the ceiling. So instead of doing one down here, I'm going to do one that's a little higher up in the room. And I'm going to start by drawing the face plate, or the face edge of my bed, the facing side of it, which in this case will be the end of my bed. So this is my face. From there, I'm going to go to my vanishing point. I'm not going to see much of the bottom of this bed because of where it sits, and I'm definitely not going to see the top, also because of where it sits, because it's right even there with my vanishing point. If my vanishing point was lower, I would see more. If it was higher, I would see some of the top. And then I'm going to decide, I think I'm going to make it this long. And now I've got to find some way to put it up here. And so I think for me, I'm going to go with some ropes hanging from the ceiling. So I'm going to take it clear up to the ceiling, and then I am going to mark my ceiling over here so that my rope on this side can go the same distance. So I've got 2 ropes going up to the ceiling, and then I have to figure out where my back ropes would be. So I just follow this down, and I do the same thing here. I'm going to follow it to where that back wall is, because that's where my bed sits. And I am going to put some ropes back in there. And when I get rid of my orthogonals, now I can flesh it out. Now I can make this a rope. I can put it in a hole in the ceiling. Maybe my bed lowers and raises at the touch of a button. So there are lots of fun things you do, and I will post a picture of kind of this finished room just so you can see some ideas. But I want you to spend today filling this room as much as you can. Put furniture in there, put chairs in there, put bookcases in there. No shading, just a line drawing, just working on that concept of 1-point perspective.